Assalamu alaikum. I'm Tazeen Ahmed, and I work with Capitol Hill Consulting here, but I'm also a member of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community. And just to follow up on that question, you talked about the law that's now on the books about the MQM leader. Well, the law, 8 months, but the law declaring Ahmadis non-Muslims was in 1974. The Ordinance 20 that actually does not allow an Ahmadi Muslim to say Assalamu alaikum, or, even the smallest things, that anyone can say, if that's Islamic, they're not allowed to do that. And on official documents, they have to declare that, they have to either check that they believe that their leader or the founder of the community is an imposter, or, they have to check that, or if they don't check that, they can't write that they're Muslim. So I just want to talk.
And they are completely disenfranchised under the electoral laws, because unless they acknowledge themselves as non-Muslims, they can't vote as non-Muslims. And since they are not Muslims, they can't vote as Muslims. So that's another important discrimination against the Ahmadi community in Pakistan.
And we believe that we are Muslims. So I just want to follow up on, you said something about some improvements. I'd love to hear more. And what is it that's that we can do sitting here that may have give a voice to some of the people, have people talk about it?
Well, let me just start with my comment to say that some positive signs have been there. And when I say some positive, I don't mean that the problem of religious freedom has been taken care of in Pakistan. But let me give you examples of what I find little seeds of positivism. For example, there was a judgment of the Supreme Court for the first time addressing the Ahmadi issue, because the Supreme Court, in one of the cases many years ago, had given a judgment on the Ahmadi issue, which I find that when I look at that judgment, it is revolting in terms of human rights. It is a revolting judgment, which says that a Muslim has copyright over certain things and no one can copy it, and therefore the Ordinance 20, of which my friend talked about here, is legitimate law. This is one. Secondly, I hear more and more voices on the media concerned about religious minorities and talking about it. This is the positiveness that I talked about. And the Punjab government, which is one of the worst conservative governments, also talking about religious minorities, the Prime Minister wishing the Christians Happy Christmas and Diwali. Now, these are symbols, but they're important. They're important, not deep enough, but at least something, somewhere, people are beginning to realize that we need to address it. However, I think that the worst are the Ahmadis in Pakistan, not only in Pakistan, but you see in Indonesia, in Bangladesh, the Ahmadis are being persecuted. But why I say that it's the worst kind of persecution in Pakistan is that the persecution is by the state. And there is a law which by name says that an Ahmadi cannot do this or cannot do that. And there are thousands of cases against them. It's not one or two, but thousands. So constantly, they are in and out of courts. But what I find even worse is the kind of discrimination that Ahmadi children have to face in schools and colleges, and at times even violence because of their religion. Anyone who speaks to defend them is also painted as a heretic and becomes a person. They say Ahmadis, well, the worst and most horrifying is that they are wajibul qatl, mean that you can kill them and that would be not a sin. So anyone who supports them also becomes wajibul qatl.